It's me. I'm gonna put my sunglasses on. So I've decided to kind of split up my vlogging. You guys tell me if you like this or not. I'm doing car vlogs, and then I'm doing like food vlogs. And that way, those of you that don't those of you that don't want to hear me ramble, you can just watch what I eat in a day. And those of you that like the ramble will just do that. I don't know. Do you like this idea? What do you think? Let me know. Thanks everybody for your feedback on my last couple of videos. I'm trying to vlog to keep myself accountable and motivated. Woo! Woo! Speed bump. And my grandfather used to always say that I guess I have a little silly giggle. And until you film yourself, you don't realize how quirky you are. But I can't even bear to watch my videos back. I watch them back after I upload them one time through to make sure I haven't done anything stupid. Like film my credit card number, which I did once last year, and had to just delete the whole dang thing. I think. Did I delete it? Or I went back in it? I don't remember what I did. I edited it or something. Or I kind of feel like on my last vlog there was a lot of music that I'm like, I put too much music on it, but whatever. I like the music. Sometimes I go a little overboard with the music. I like the music because it sounds real happy in the background. But anyway, he always thought I had a funny little giggle. So if I giggled after something, my grandfather would go, hee, or something like that. Like he would imitate me. I love him. I miss him so much. He was a World War II veteran. I think I've talked about him before. In the Navy. He was on a U-boat in the war. And, oh goodness gracious heavens to Betsy, there's a terrible wreck up here. Lord have mercy. I hope everybody's okay. But anyway, he just one of those awesome influences in my life. Very close to him, and my brother Patrick was extremely close to him. Extremely, extremely close to him. So, anyway, I don't know why I told you all that, but oh dear, oh my lords. Okay, everyone's all right. Everyone's standing up. Everyone's good. They're all good. Everybody's good. Thank you, Lord. We're okay. That was the worst part about doing an internship. When I was in nursing school, I worked in the ER for a little while, and then a little bit afterwards, and quickly decided that I am not an ER nurse. Although ER nurses are like my favorite peeps. I work with an ER nurse right now that is so much like the other ER nurses that I know. I just love, they're amazing critical thinkers, like like the good ones, huge problem solvers, great critical thinkers, like just amazing. And she is amazing. I ran like a client issue by her today, and she just like knows how to talk me down off a ledge, and then puts together, here's what you could do. I'm like, okay. So I did it like immediately, and it worked perfectly. Just fabulous. So yeah, ER nurses are my peeps outside of the hospital. Now inside the hospital, we like to butt heads, but in a good way. Labor and delivery nurses and ER nurses, we have a special kind of friendship. So they don't want to deal with our people. We don't want to deal with their people. We like our little separate places. But man, if I need an IV, not in the thumb, please. Who do I call? ER charge nurse every time. Fabulous. Fabulous. And then if they can't get it, the next step is anesthesia. Because if L&D can't get an IV, then we've got a problem. If the ER charge charge nurse can't get an IV, something's not right. And then if you call anesthesia in and they have to put IVs up here, Lord of mercy. Got a bad situation. Okay, that's enough. Get off on these tangents. I'm so sorry. I've got a lot of energy. Can you guys tell? I have so much more energy. I do not have a slump happening in the afternoon. And my friend that I was at work with today, she went and had a Whataburger for lunch. She had the hamburger and fries and everything. And then after lunch, she was like, having the schlump. And prior to doing this, I was schlumpy. I mean, I was schlumping all over the place. Non-coherent, basically. And I totally noticed a difference. So today, what I was doing, I decided to go ahead and do an intermittent fasting day because I was not hungry this morning. And I've been watching all the professionals. And the consensus seems to be, you guys reflect back to me if I'm incorrect, but if you're not hungry, don't eat. Don't be eating fat bombs if you're not hungry, because those suckers will go right to the fat. The other thing that I'm reading is that the whole idea of this is to burn the fat that you have on you. And so if you're eating a lot of extra fat, your body will store it. If it doesn't burn it and then go into your fat stores, your body will store it just like anything else. So, the whole thing is a balancing act. I feel like we are all like big chemistry experiments. And no matter what plan you're on, it takes some figuring out, like what your body is willing to deal with. I started the week, did I tell you all I weighed in on Sunday just to see? I started the week at 259. I told you all I had that Burger King situation on Saturday, and I hadn't weighed myself prior to that, but I knew I was somewhere in the mid 250s. And so after I had the Burger King situation, I felt really bloated Sunday morning, and my husband got up and he was up a pound. I think it was a pound. And then I was like, I'm going to weigh myself too. And I was like, whoa, blah. So no Burger King this week. Let's not do that. I'm going to try to stay away from that fast foody stuff anyway. Today I intermittent fasted until lunch. I brought myself a piece of my frittata, and you guys saw that on my vlog yesterday. It's just egg whites, some cheese, some mushrooms, some sausage, a little dab of heavy whipping cream. I had that for lunch with 1/4 of a avocado. And then I just had I would show it to you, but I'm not going to reach for it. I just had a little snack because I was hungry, and it's 4 o'clock. I'm on my way home from work. I've been working since 7 a.m. So I'm tired. I'm ready to be done. And I think I'm at a good stopping point until tomorrow. So, wasn't really hungry until noon, and then my stomach started rumbling, and I had some coffee. So something else that I read about is that you should never break a fast, and this would even be overnight, because if you think about it, from dinner time until when you eat breakfast, you're breaking a fast. Breakfast, fast. You're fasting. You're not eating anything in the middle of the night when you're sleeping. So I was reading something about not combining fats and carbs when you break a fast. So for breakfast, fats and carbs, because your body is really primed and ready to release insulin, and it's ready to store fat. So if you saturate it with fats and carbs, like a fat and carb combination, your body will store it. So what they recommend is you either do a protein and a carb or a protein and a fat, which is very interesting because with diabetics in the hospital, I did a lot of this kind of stuff with the diabetics and didn't fully have an understanding of what the dietitians were doing, but I kind of knew. So we would often give clients or patients, a carb and a protein. A carb and a protein, not a carb and a fat, a carb and a protein as a morning snack and an afternoon snack to elevate the blood sugar enough to keep it steady so that patient would not go hypoglycemic. We actually gave morning snack, afternoon snack, and evening snack in addition to their 3 regular meals because in diabetes you need to keep a level blood sugar. And plus, on antepartum, which is your high-risk pregnant patients, we were giving huge amounts of insulin, huge amounts of insulin to our diabetic moms who are pregnant because they need that extra boost. So I would give 30 units of regular and 30 units of NPH, yes, with breakfast in the morning. If any of you are diabetic, you're probably like, what? Unless you're very brittle diabetic, that's actually pretty, significant. So you wouldn't want to crash them into hypoglycemia and have a diabetic coma happening. So we tried to really level out. It's very important that you went and gave them their snacks. So, the cafeteria would send up like a little bit of cheese and an apple, something like that, just to give you an example. I don't know why I got off on that, just to say that a lot of what I'm reading right now about low carb and ketogenic diets, I have a very brief foundation in nutrition as a nurse. That's not something that they focus on a lot. We have so much else to learn in nursing school. So, I really didn't have a very broad education on that in nursing school, and a lot of what I learned was from trial and error with my own body, mostly error, and then working in the hospital and working with diabetics for years. Pregnant diabetics, so that's a whole other monster, Gestational diabetics, and also usually type 2 diabetics that got pregnant, and then every once in a while I get a type 1 that was on like an insulin pump or something and was managing. They have different categories now, so I'm using sort of old categories for diabetes, for those of you that know anything about diabetes. We have classes instead of types that we use most often right now. But you understand what I'm talking about if you're into that sort of thing. So in terms of research, I've been looking at that and thinking about how do I break my, fast, whether it's breakfast in the morning. Am I going to eat something with a lot of carbs in it and fat? No, I'm not. Trim Healthy Mama, which I talked about that eating plan and cookbook, which I have a friend that lost a lot of weight and has maintained that from church. Well, I don't know how much she lost. I'm thinking like 30, 40 pounds, somewhere in there. But she does that, and it's food combining. Look, all my fingernails came off. She does that. It's food combining of watching it. You do your protein and your carbs for a meal, if you're going to do that, or you do a protein and a fat. You do not combine fats and carbs. And there was a doctor on YouTube that was talking about that the other day as well. I can't remember. Dr. Berg, Dr. Barry, Dr. Bob, Dr. whoever. I feel like I've watched so much right now that I'm a little bit indoctrinated. And just enjoying the newness. I was talking to my ER nurse friend, and we were talking about how we get bored as critical care nurses. And I know I'm not classically critical care, but I consider L&D critical. Because I've seen some pretty critical situations. And critical care nurses, we like to master something and then we get bored and then we want a new problem to solve and we want to master it. So that may play a little bit into a lot of my, I think I get bored. So what does that mean for long term? I don't know. I think I'm just now identifying some of this stuff. Golly, I hope it helps somebody that I sit here and blabber on about this, and maybe you can identify as well. I don't know. But I get bored, and I want to figure out something else, and I really want to figure this out and see if it can work for me. And so I'm doing, sorry, whoever just revved their engine just scared the crap out of me. Why would you do that? As Jim Gaffigan would say. Why would she do that? No, he doesn't say it like that. Jim Gaffigan, if you don't know who that is, you need to go look up. If you need to laugh, just need to have a nice giggle, and you like clean comedians, you need to look up Jim Gaffigan and watch some of his comedy. He just makes me laugh and laugh and laugh. Anyway. Dinner tonight. We are going to make, I have chicken thighs that have been defrosted. Of course, I don't want chicken thighs. Do you guys do this where you plan and then you're like, I don't want that. That's not something I want. My husband and I do that all the time. I'll get home and be like, well, let's plan this. And we'll be like, what? We don't want it. Usually it's a problem if I've defrosted meat. So in the refrigerator right now, I have defrosted chicken thighs. I have defrosted ground beef. So there's a taco pie thing that I know I want to make because I might want to eat it for the rest of the week. And then I have these chicken thighs. I need to eat them because I defrosted them on Sunday. So I was going to do barbecue. So I can make both and then have one for leftover lunches and one for dinner tonight and leftovers. Whatever I do, I have to go home and cook. It's basically what I'm trying to tell you guys. What are you having for dinner? Let me know what you had for dinner. And what else is happening this week? Thursday, I am going to the city. It's 2 hours away. I'm going to a big hospital there. I have a patient who has been in-house there for a while, and I'm going to go see her and just check in because I haven't laid eyes on her in a while, and it stinks that she has to be there and so far away. That's not the norm. So I'm going to go see her on Thursday. It's a couple hours away, so it's going to be like an all-day situation between going and doing all that and then charting on her and blah, blah, blah. Tomorrow I have the usual, and then Friday I have the usual, and then it's a 3-day weekend. So what are you guys doing for the holiday? We are talking about, well, we have a baptism on Saturday, we have a wedding on Sunday, and then Monday I really would like to clean out some of the, like, there's things when you move that are packed and you go, oh, I don't need that right now. Like, you open the box, you're like, I don't need this stuff right this moment, and you store it, right? Because you think you're going to get back to around, oh, where was that? Let me get that out. No. There's like 3 or 4 boxes hanging out in the attic. I don't know what's in them, and I need to go through them. I need to go through my clothes and get rid of some things that, it's that whole idea of I haven't worn them in 3 or 4 years, but I keep thinking, oh, I'm going to wear this. It's kind of cute. It's not cute. Just get rid of it, Amy. So I need to donate a bunch of that. So I'm thinking on Monday, my husband and I are going to go find a trail to walk in the morning. So we'll go walking. What are these kiddos doing? 5,000 of them standing there. I guess they're trying to cross the street. And then we'll work on organizing. I love organizing stuff. I love it. I didn't realize I liked it until recently. I think until this move, I realized that I really like having organized closets and pantries and things. I don't think I've ever had a lot of closets and pantries and, you know, drawers and stuff. We've always lived in really small houses. New York, we lived in a small apartment. So it's fun to have like organized spaces. So I'm having fun doing that. And then I'm debating on whether or not to get my fingernails done. I like to have them done because they're very super duper bendy and weak. If I don't have them done and they're just normally like that, and I can't do anything with my fingers, like I have to cut them short and then I have trouble opening stuff. So I like to have them done, but I sure don't like to pay for it. And I'm not as talented. So I tried to do dip powder myself, you guys. That was a complete disaster. It looked like I had stuck my fingers in quicksand and like pulled it out. And I had like these big globules on my fingers. Yeah. So I won't be working in a nail salon anytime soon. Okay, I'm going to stop mumbling. I just wanted to come on here and say hello and give you guys another little car vlog because you have requested them. And I suppose it helps you do your chores. I've got to find someone who just rambles like this so that I can get like more laundry done, because I love to listen to people just talk and not show things, so then I don't feel like I have to look at, you know, the screen. I can just work and listen to someone talk. I know podcasts are great. I haven't been listening to a lot of podcasts. I should. So let me know what you're doing today. Let me know what you're eating. Let me know how your program's going, and I'm going to weigh in for you guys. I weighed in Sunday. I guess I'll weigh in Sunday again and tell you my first week tracking, really tracking my macros and iTrack bites. You know, not worrying too much about it, because I want to get away from that, but just tracking to make sure I'm under my carbs. Oh, I did have a question. How many carbs? I'm trying to stay at 25 and under. iTrack bites has me at like 15, which I'm like, okay. And so I'm trying to stay under 20, 25, somewhere in there. And my calories are kind of all over the place, so I'm just watching it. Really, I just wanted to get into using one of the apps, so that has been the goal this week. And I'm doing great. I'm doing great on my water. It's only Tuesday, but we're doing fantastic.